Strike the violin, strike the violin, touch, 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 touch the lute.
Hello. In just a few notes, I can show you the difference between Baroque flute of wood and silver flute with keys. Wood, silver with keys. It's very simple, very quick, and you can hear a world of difference.
The instrument that I'm playing is a lute, and it's a specific kind of lute because it's got extra bass strings on it. There are 13 strings altogether on this instrument, and the lute was very, very popular in Europe from about 1500 until the late 1700s. There's many paintings showing a lute being played. In this case, an angel was playing it. Lots of angels play the lute, apparently, from the artwork that still exists. And just to give you an idea of how this sounds, here's, and then when you,
Hi, my name is Tammy Rogers King, and I'm here today to tell you a little bit about the Baroque violin, which I will be playing. This instrument is a reproduction from about the late 1600s. It's a little bit different from a modern instrument in that it doesn't have a chin rest, and the neck is slightly shorter. The fingerboard is definitely shorter. Baroque music, we typically don't go quite as high as we do in more modern classical styles. And it also has gut strings, all 4 gut strings. No fine tuners with those. So all of our tuning has to be done with the pegs. The other thing that's fun and unique is the Baroque bow, which doesn't have a grip like a modern bow. And it's definitely has a different tip, different weight balance, and a different curvature. So lots of times Baroque players will even shift up and play quite a bit higher than traditional players. But that's what I'll be using today, and it's a really fun instrument to play.
Hello, I'm Diedre Emerson, and I play the cello. The cello was invented in the 1500s and has been with us ever since. It is part of the string family and a prominent section in orchestras. You've probably seen it before. It's the instrument that we sit down with that has an end pin to hold it up. In fact, you've probably seen us play with our modern bow, which is heavier so we can pull out big, rich tones. The cello primarily plays the tenor and the bass lines to support the harmony foundation. Now, in the 500 years we've been playing this instrument, though we haven't always played it the same way, we actually, in early music, use a lighter bow, a Baroque bow, which can be played overhand or underhand. Also, in early music, the end pin hadn't been invented yet, so what they would do instead was either set it on the floor and play from there, hold it with the legs, or set it on a box or something of the like. I personally prefer to use my music history textbooks because they're very helpful, very large, and they are quite appropriate. I hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dailey, and I'm a countertenor. Now you may be wondering, What exactly is a countertenor? Well, a countertenor is a male-identified singer who sings in the register of a contralto, mezzo-soprano, or even soprano. This goes back to the 16th and 18th century in a practice that was known as the castrati. These were fabulous male singers who underwent a process to preserve their high voices. Well, we don't do that process anymore at all. However, many of us have trained and have worked our voices to be somewhat similar to those great singers. So we sing a lot of their repertoire. Composers such as Handel, Vivaldi, Purcell, Cavalli, Caccini, many others wrote music with these particular voice types and sounds in mind. How also we have music that is being composed today by modern and 21st and 20th century composers who have written specifically for the countertenor voice. So I would even say that the idea of the countertenor and the castrati go back even further. If you are a Bible reader, you may have heard about the African eunuchs. And even if not, this is a part of history, as a part of world history. And these African eunuchs were not just keepers and protectors of the queen, but they were also great singers and musicians. I'd also argue that countertenor exists in not just classical music, but also in a lot of commercial music. We hear it every now and again, and lots of times in the gospel music that is sung. We hear it in doo-wop groups of the 40s and 50s and 60s. Groups like Earth, Wind, and Fire with Philip Bailey and Eddie Kendricks with the Temptations. All of those kinds of sounds, in many respects, could be considered countertenor. So, I'm a countertenor. And it's not easy. It's a lot of hard work, but it's very rewarding.